Students, you can see over here that we are having a conducting liquid which is the salt solution of water, and this LED is glowing. It means the current is flowing. Here we are having the magnetic compass which shows the deflection on passing the minute current. So with this arrangement, if you will pass the current for the some time, then this needle is getting deflected. It means that the liquid is a good conductor of electricity. Hello students, you might have seen the first video of chapter 14, Chemical Effects of Electric Current. In that we have seen the concept. We tried to understand that any of the liquid can also conduct the electricity. Three effects of electricity we have discussed: that electricity or electric current can have the heating effect, the chemical effect, as well as it will have the magnetic effect. In today's activity, you have seen that the tester, that means the device to check the presence of electric current. We can have different types of tester. It is made up of conductor, a battery and an LED. Or instead of LED, we can connect the magnetic compass as you have seen just now. The magnetic compass is having a needle, and if it is brought near to the electric current, that needle is deflected. The deflection of the needle shows or explains that the substance, the liquid which we are using, it is a good conductor of electricity. After that tester and the different types of liquids we can use as the checking that whether the electricity is passed from that or not. Based on that, we can divide them into two types. First, that is good conductor, and second is the poor conductor. Sometimes this poor conductor is also named as insulator. So we have seen that acids like H2SO4, sulfuric acid, the bases like sodium hydroxide, and the salts, commonly we are using sodium chloride, that is NaCl. But chemically we are having number of types of salts like magnesium sulfate, calcium carbonate, sodium carbonate, etc. So the solution of acids, base or salts are good conductor of electricity. But instead of that, if we are having oil, milk or honey, or the substances which are not acids, base or salts, and if we try to pass the electric current from them, then it will not allow the electric current to pass from them, and that's why they are the poor conductor of electricity. Based on that, we can have the question in the examination. The water, tap water which we are using, or the rain water that is having some salts dissolved in that, some impurities dissolved in that. But the distilled water, pure water, the word we are using for them, that do not contain any kind of impurity. It is the poor conductor of electricity, as it is not allowing the electricity to pass from them. It could also be asked that if I want to make the distilled water, which is the pure water, if I want to make it good conductor, then what should I do? This type of question we are having in exercise. So the simple answer first, that distilled water is poor conductor of electricity, and second, if we want to make it good conductor of electricity, we have to dissolve some salt in that. and then if we will check it with the tester, surely it will pass the electricity. After that discussion, we were having the concept, the passage of an electric current through a conducting solution causes chemical effect. We have seen in our earlier video that if we are keeping some iron nail or piece in the solution of copper sulfate, then it will have the thin coating of copper on that, and that is known as the chemical reaction taken place in the solution. One example we are having over here of copper sulfate, but later on in 9th and 11th standard chemistry, you will learn that in detail that basically any compound, say for example NaCl, try to get this concept, it is not discussed much detail in our textbook. But for understanding the electric current, it is important for all of you to know this. Once again, I am repeating, if we are having any compound, say NaCl or CuSO4, or we are having sodium nitrate. These are the few examples of compounds. These compounds are having two types of ions. They are positive and negative. In our 15th chapter, we are having the starting of the chapter with the same activity of conductors and insulators. And in that also, with the help of two balloons or two plastic refills, it has been tried to explain that if we are having two substances and if they are having same kind of charges, either positive or negative, that we can assign conventionally. But if we are having same type of charges, the objects will repel each other. And if we are having different objects, they will attract each other. So based on this, we can say that we are having two types of charges. One is positive and one is negative. So why this chemical reaction occurs? The answer is that whenever we are having any compounds, chemicals, aqueous solution and we are passing current through that, the compound, as I said, CuSO4 or NaCl is dissociate and it is divided into positive and negative charges inside the solution. And as we have connected battery is having two terminals, positive and negative. Here you can see this metallic cap. This we can see outside the battery, and these are the carbon rods connected with that metallic terminals, metallic cap. So the rods which are connected with the terminal, they are known as the electrodes. The solutions which we are using for testing, they are known as electrolyte. And these terminals of the battery, they are also positive or negative. Please get this term, electrolyte, terminals and electrodes. If it's required, please see this video again and again and try to get these three terms from that, right? So for getting the chemical reaction through electric current, we need electrolyte and we should have the electrodes. It is not necessary that every time you should have these carbon rods. Instead of this, you can use two copper plates, zinc plates, or you can use the iron nails also. So the electrodes and electrolyte depends that how chemical reaction will occur. In our textbook, the question is asked that suppose we are having this type of circuit, and in this, if I am having a bulb over here, then sometimes it is happening that though we are doing all this arrangement and the bulb does not glow? What are the reasons for that? So you are supposed to answer that very first thing might be the bulb has fused. Second reason, that the cells of the batteries might be used up. They are not working. Third thing, that the connections which are done over here, they might be not proper. It is not connected properly. And fourth important thing that you can mention over here, that solution, this electrolyte which we are using, may not be a good conductor, or in other words, the solution which we have taken is insulator or poor conductor of electricity. These are the reasons. Because of that, the bulb cannot glow in this circuit. In the last video, you might have heard properly that whenever any of this one reason is taking place, the circuit becomes open and current cannot pass through open circuit. It must be closed. Then in our textbook, the activity of the dissociation of copper sulfate is given, and for that this type of diagram is given, which is having battery, connectors and the solution of copper sulfate as electrolyte. In that, which reaction is occurring, it is asked in 3 marks question, brief question answer. So we are supposed to explain when current is passed through copper sulfate. The formula of copper sulfate is CuSO4. When the current is passed through copper sulfate solution, it is dissociates in copper and sulfate. The charges also I had mentioned. If you can remember at this point of time, it's better. Otherwise, you will learn that in 9th standard. So copper is having positive charge and sulfate is having negative charge. Now the free copper gets deposited on negative terminal of the battery. Then what happens to that copper ions which are released from this copper sulfate solution? That copper ions are regained from the positive terminal where we have connected another copper plate. Positive terminal is connected with copper plate, so positive charge will repel from that, and that's why that copper plate will give the copper ions to the copper sulfate continuously, and that copper is again deposited on the negative terminal. Please learn this concept properly and try to get the terms used in that. Now suppose instead of these 2 copper plates, as the copper is deposited to the negative terminal, on this negative terminal, if I am keeping any other metal, what will happen? Say I am having iron spoon, or I am having a small rod of iron. Connect that to the negative. See, small line over here is showing the negative terminal symbolically, and the bigger line is showing the positive terminal. Please try to remember this. So whenever I am connecting the iron rod with the negative terminal, the copper which is released from this solution will deposit it to the negative terminal of the battery. So whatever the electrode I will use with that electric or with that negative terminal, the copper ions will deposit it, means thin layer of copper will be done on that. And as a result, we can see the thin layer of that metal on the substance which is connected with negative terminal of the battery. So as you have seen in that activity earlier in our video, you can understand that if we are having any costly metal like gold or silver. Nowadays in market we are getting gold plated or silver plated ornaments. That means that inside that metal some cheaper metal is used, and only that thin layer of gold we can see on that material. Like that, chromium is one of the important or costly metal which has very shiny and lustrous look. The substance is made up of iron, like handles of the door, handles of the bicycle, wheel rims of the bicycle, other auto parts, the taps which we are using in bathroom, they all are made up of mostly iron. And one of the property of iron we are knowing that it is corroded, it is eaten up as it comes in the contact with the water. So to avoid this, to prevent this, we can have a thin layer of chromium on that. So the coating of any other metal on other substance or other metal is known as plating. And if that plating is done through electricity, by the means of electricity, it is known as electroplating. So we are using all these taps and automobile parts or kitchenware which is having the coating of chromium, and if it is done with electricity, it is the example of electroplating. Most of the exercise questions I had discussed just now. See both the videos properly and try to get the concept.
आभार।